Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I just want to do a channel update. I haven't done one of these in a very, very long time, and I just want to keep you guys, up to date with what my plans are and what's going on my side of this channel. And first, I want to start out by saying thank you guys so much for the support. I mean, I've been doing this for, I think just past 4 years doing this channel, and I've done quite a bit, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. I started out actually doing just MLB, moved to NCAA, and then now we ventured into basketball now, and we've really seen a successful series for the first time in basketball on my channel as well. So let's just get into the current series on my channel. Now, LBSU will be ending soon. It's just one of those things where, a series just runs its course. And that's, I think, what's happening with LBSU. I know you guys will be disappointed in that because you guys are enjoying the series. And I am too. I'm actually not that bored with it at all. Usually, when you get to the end of series, you're kind of bored with it. You're ready for it to end and to move on. For me, it's kind of bittersweet. This has actually turned out to be, as far as numbers go, the most successful series on my channel, and I'm actually surprised by that. When I started the series, I did not expect it to do this well. I knew it was going to be a good series, but I didn't expect it to be this well. But one thing that I did have going for the channel as far as this series is that there weren't any NCAA Basketball 10 series out there when I started, and now, I mean, there's none out there at all. So I'm really in a market by myself, and it definitely helped me in the series as far as viewers go and keeping you guys tuned in. And I couldn't have thanked you guys enough. Now, one thing I loved about this LBSU series was getting you guys involved, and I usually have a way to get you guys in with custom recruits, things like that. But with being in a new conference and having every roster be about 15 guys or less, it was a lot easier to create you guys and put you guys into the game. And I allowed you guys to be in the conference if you did not make LBSU's team. So moved on from the Big West to the West Coast Conference, and then to the Pac-12 as we see now in the series in season number 8. And, one thing about this series is that, I do want to continue playing NCAA basketball team. I've had a ton of fun with it. So I did put out a feeler poll on my community tab a couple of days ago. Thanks for you guys that did vote on it. And I just wanted to see what you guys wanted to see next. And I'll show a little snippet of the poll here on the screen. But, you guys did say you guys wanted me to continue Charlotte, and I will talk about Charlotte in a little bit. And I was going to do that anyway, but I just wanted to see where your guys' head was at. Now, a new NCAA Basketball 10 series is crucial for me. And the reason why is because I want to eventually build the world for a future NBA 2K series. Now, that won't be on this 2K. It's going to be on next 2K. I have not done an NBA 2K series at all on my channel. I definitely want to get into it. Now that I've seen that I can do basketball, I kind of have a feel for how the pace needs to go in the series. And I kind of want to move on to that type of aspect, the NBA side of basketball, not just college. But I do want to get another NCAA basketball series in. I want to do that so I build up the draft classes and things like that and get more of you guys involved. Now let's move over to Charlotte. Now, I want to continue Charlotte, obviously. You guys voted that you guys do want me to continue. But here's the thing with NCAA 14. It's just oversaturated at times. Maybe like 2 years ago, around the same time, Uncle Sam's Reject was doing his. That was more like a year ago when UGF Pandas, Not the Expert, was doing his. And Kalispell was still going, Mr. Hurricane. There was just a lot of NCAA 14 content all at one time. And I was even doing the Whitetails at that point as well. And there's just a lot of NCAA 14 on YouTube. And it's kind of oversaturated. I think, on my channel specifically, it's kind of run its course. And I think that, this is my 6th dynasty. I mean, just think about that. That is a whole lot of football, especially on one game. So, I am going to continue Charlotte. I will kind of switch up the format probably. I think I'm going to have doubleheader episodes on every single episode. That means it's going to kind of take longer to record episodes as well. So I don't know if it'll be every single day you'll get, or every other day you'll get a Charlotte 49ers. It might be one every 2 or 3. And I'm going to still try to get it to once every other day, but we'll see how that goes. I am enjoying Charlotte. I think the one thing that I like about it that I did change up, which I wish I would have done maybe in the past, but at least I've discovered it now, is controlling the defensive tackle. It's definitely opened up the game quite a bit, because if you think about it, if you're user controlled, yes, you have complete control on defense. If you're control of the middle linebacker, I mean, you can dictate the game. You can dictate where the running back cuts, where his vision is, and how the quarterback throws across the middle. You can dictate all of that. It's fun to kind of have a user impact on the game, but it's also fun to see your own players grow on their own. And controlling the defensive tackle definitely allows you to do that. I believe Mr. Hurricane did that on his Kalispell Dynasty. I noticed it later, but I just started doing it, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with it, just seeing players kind of come into their own, being their own people, instead of having, me control the outcome there. But Charlotte isn't going anywhere. One thing I also like about this series is kind of the trajectory. In franchise modes and when you're building a franchise series, the one thing about it is that you start out bad and then all of a sudden you just keep going up and up and up and up. Well, now I think here in season 3, you kind of see us hit a plateau with this team. And I think in season 1, we were bad. Season 2, we had a very good season. But now season 3, we're kind of starting out really, really bad. And that is not on purpose. So anybody that's in the comment sections on anybody's video, I don't know any YouTuber that intentionally loses. I know you guys are saying that, we're making this mistake. I know we make mistakes. We're literally humans. I will not be perfect on every single throw. I will not be perfect on every single drive. That's just how it is. I'm going to miss stuff. I'm going to edit videos and look back and say, dang, I missed this guy wide open. That's how it's going to be. And I'm not going to be able to change that. I'm just going to make mistakes. And one thing about, Charlotte, you guys have noticed, I've struggled with JPE now in season number 3. And that's the thing, if you have a dynamic quarterback like that, you want to run the ball. Like, you want to scramble. You want to get out of the pocket. Obviously, with the pocket passer like Rochford, we didn't throw the ball as much. We didn't have to air the ball out because we didn't have to extend plays as much. It's pretty much a 1-read throw type of quarterback, or 2-read throw type of quarterback. Stay in the pocket, can't really avoid the rush too much. And having JPE there, you're more likely to make mistakes because you have the weapons, the wheels on him in order to extend plays, and that kind of, dictates the series as well. So enough about the current series. We're going to start to talk about the future series coming up on my channel. And before I talk about the future series, I want to talk about channel memberships. Now, I do have memberships on my channel. You can join. It's been around for a while, but I just want to kind of reiterate to you guys like what exactly these memberships are. Now, each one does cost money. I'm not going to force anybody to do it. I just appreciate it. It helps me out quite a bit. And each tier that you sign up for does cost more money as you go up each level. So at level 1 is pretty much how it works, is I'm going to give you guys perks for each level. So level 1, you do get a guaranteed player in one series every 4 seasons. So that means when you submit a guy for a series on level 1, you will always have one guy on the team, but just for one series. As you go up in the tiers, so say level 2 now you get a guaranteed player in every single series on my channel. So I run 2 series at a time on my channel. That means you will have a guy in both series, and it's every 3 seasons. So you will enjoy a senior and a freshman on the same squad guaranteed. Now, that applies for the college series. Now, when we move to pro, for example, let's say baseball, you will get prospects, for example, in MLB The Show, but it doesn't guarantee that they will always be in the organization. I can't guarantee that because I'm going to make roster moves. You're going to move around, but you're always going to have a player every 3 seasons in those type of series. The same with like Madden, for example. Since it's pro, it's not really a senior and a freshman. You will have 2 guys in the series. I will probably include you in the draft class every 3 seasons, and then you'll do it that way. Then as we move up in the tiers, you get more perks to it. So that means you will be guaranteed a high rating in the recruit/draft class. So you will be one of the highest rated guys. You will also have a player specific storyline in a episode in that series for that player. And then you will enjoy all the benefits from the other 2 tiers as well. So one player in every 3 seasons, every series, and then you'll get those additional perks. And the Hall of Fame is the big time level on my channel, and in that one you will get everything before it. You will get free gifts sent to you, get fully customizable recruit and player swag and gear, and your ratings will be exactly what you want them to be. Obviously, I'm not gonna make you 99 speed, but if you say, hey, I'm a speedster, you're gonna be a speedster. Like, you're gonna be fast. You're gonna be one of the fastest players probably in the entire game. That's just how it's gonna work. So let's just talk about future series and series I have coming up next. Now, MLB The Show comes out in a couple of weeks. You know we're going to have our franchise like always. This will be my 4th franchise in MLB The Show. I've had fun with MLB The Show for sure. Last year was the first time we had an expansion team, and that was actually pretty fun. I was surprised that we did so well so early in that series, because I remember season 1, it was like, no, we did bad. Season 2, we were good. And then season 3, we were really good. I mean, it went really fast. I want that to kind of not be the case this time, because obviously building a baseball organization is tough. It takes decades to build a good organization. Let's just take the team that we're doing, which is the Rockies, for example. We are going to do the Rockies in MLB The Show 22, but 21, I should say. But the Rockies, for example, they have not been like top tier ever, and they've existed for about 20 years now. They have not been top tier ever, really. I mean, they've had a couple of good years early in the 2000s with Larry Walker, and when Troy Tulowitzki was first coming into the league, all those guys. Now it's kind of been, wishy-washy with them. I mean, they're probably going to be super bad this year. Maybe one of the worst teams in baseball, I should say. And I remember last night or 2 nights ago, they were actually no hit until the 7th inning versus Bauer. So yeah, this is going to be quite the rebuild, and I want to do it realistically. I think I know the pace I'm going to do in that series. It's not going to be, a long 20 episode season. It's not going to be nothing like that. I'm going to try to move through months quickly. There's going to be episodes where we do, player focus episodes, series focus episodes, month focus episodes, or just like 2 months. We might go through 2 months of games in one episode. I kind of want to move through it and get through multiple seasons. So that series is coming up. And then after that, I think after Charlotte does eventually end. Now, I'm going to end Charlotte after our first national championship. I usually go to at least a couple seasons past the national championship and see where it goes from there. But to be honest with you, I want to go to just one national championship this time and see how long that takes. Now, we probably still have a while to go, because we did get promoted from the Conference USA up to the American, and then from the American to the ACC. We also have the college football playoff. So if we make it this year, there's no guarantee that not even this year, next year, that we'll get that national championship. We might make it to the playoff and then lose in the semis or lose in the finals. That's a new element we're adding to our series in NCAA football as well. So I'm excited to get to that. I can't wait till we get to that point. But then I want to talk about, the upcoming series after Charlotte. It's going to be that second NCAA basketball 10 series. Now, I'm going to take probably the worst rated, at least one of the bottom 5 rated teams in the game this time. Now that we've done Long Beach in a full series, I know how I want to run this now, because there are elements to NCAA basketball 10 that I did not know about that will help you build your squad faster. And I wish I wouldn't have done them. And part of that was upgrading certain facilities. If you upgrade certain facilities in that game, you get a huge advantage over the CPU, because in training, your guys literally go up. I've seen this before. I've had a recruit go from 54 3-point as a recruit. So without training, as a true freshman, 54 3-point all the way up to 86. That is not an exaggeration. Over 30 points in 3-point after training. I don't want that to happen. So I I'm definitely going to do that differently. I'm going to upgrade facilities that make sense. Like injury, I'll upgrade those facilities. But like the ones that give you like +3 3-point shooting, it's not +3. It's like +30. It's whatever it is, +20, +15. I don't want that boost, and that will help my next series. I don't know what team I'm going to do next. That's still a little bit ways out. I mean, I'd say like at least a month out. We'll see how long Charlotte takes to get to the promised land, but we'll see. You never know. I mean, it could be sooner rather than later. We'll have to see how that goes, but that will be the next series. And then I'm using that series to build the world for my next NBA 2K series, my first NBA 2K series, and NBA 2K22. I will do a franchise. What do they call it now? My League. I don't know what they call it. My NBA. There it is. My NBA. And I want to combine, both of those NCAA Basketball 10 series into the draft class and kind of do it that way. So then, as we wind down MLB The Show series, so this is around the fall, something like that, I will start the Madden series. I do a Madden series every single year. That won't change. I don't need to get into details with that. But, my last MLB The Show series lasted about 5 months, so I'm hoping that the same thing will happen here. And I'm doing Colorado. I love the state of Colorado. I'm a Colorado sports fan. I am in Wisconsin. I'm a Wisconsin sports fan as well. Those are the two states that I really cheer for. So I'm excited to get the Rocky series going up next. Now, let's talk about just like future series, and this could be like random series sprinkled in, which I might even surprise you guys sometimes. And I do have 3 on my list here. I have the MVP Baseball 07 series, college baseball. I do want to do that. I don't know how I want to introduce it though, because there's never a right time. I don't want to have my channel fully dedicated to baseball, so doing that right now just won't make sense. I could do it as maybe a weekend series, but then I just feel like I won't be as dedicated to it. So I don't want to kind of half-ass a series. I want to get all into it, put all the detail into it, put all the work into it, just like that. And I don't know when this MVP baseball series is going to happen. It will eventually happen. We'll have to see how I'm feeling around certain times later in the year. I don't know. And because, I don't want to start a series like when it's off season. The only time we're doing that now is NCAA Basketball 10. And that's because I had so much fun with LBSU, because basketball season is coming to an end. So I want to do another basketball series right after after college basketball is ending. But that's just a one-time exception on that one. Now, I do have a gaming PC now, so I can play these old PS2 games that I tried to play with when I had Cocoa Beach as the PS2 NCAA Football 09 series. I do want to boot up an old NCAA Football series, and I don't know when that will be, but it'll be probably on NCAA Football 11, because now I have it in 1080p, so it's going to look 10 times better. And I do want to get that series underway probably in around the second half of this year. I don't know how that's going to fit in though. That one definitely might be a weekend series, or I might just use it as a kind of a check-in type of series with the Madden when I do like college highlights and stuff like that. I might use the PS2 version. That might be pretty cool, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I definitely want to do something in that game. I'm not really sure what, but something. It might even be Campus Legend. Remember, it wasn't Road to Glory back then. It was Campus Legend. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't really know what my plans are, but I definitely want to go back to that game. And then the final retro series that I do want to eventually get to is NFL Street. I want to do an NFL Street series, and I really love that. It was one of my favorite games growing up. There's obviously NBA Street. I loved NFL Street. That was one of my favorite games of all time. And I want to go to NFL Street 2 because the story mode in that game is a whole lot better. You have to you have your guy, you get to create them, and then you build your squad up against Exhibit Squad. It's actually a very well thought out storyline from their first one, because in the first one, you basically just like went around and played NFL teams. It was kind of like a non-personal story mode. So NFL Street 2 is definitely on my list. I definitely want to get back to that and see what we can do there. I will have some video sprinkled in leading up to MLB The Show. there will be a prequel series where you will see a former LBSU dynasty player actually in the show. So I'm not going to spoil it or anything. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but a player that failed to make it to the NBA will try his luck at the MLB, and really, it's going to be fun. I don't want to spoil it right now, but that's all I'm going to give you. I'm excited for MLB The Show, though. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people are just ready for a new game, too, especially on next gen, because Madden kind of disappointed a lot of people. I wouldn't say 2K was bad. It wasn't even bad, to be honest. I think 2K was actually pretty good. I just didn't play it that much. I did have it, but I just didn't play it that much. But we'll see. I think MLB The Show is going to be good this year. Let me know what you guys think of the franchise updates on that game as well. I actually like them. It's not, earth-shattering, but, obviously the stadium creator is huge. The new call-up system is huge. The trade logic is huge. The new depth chart layout is pretty big, and it just looks a lot more better now on the next-gen console. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to get into that. And then I think, with Stadium Creator, I think we'll start to now cover minor leagues more, because one thing I had an issue with minor leagues were the stadiums, because the walls were kind of short, and I don't know, it seemed a little easier to play in those stadiums. So I am definitely excited for Stadium Creator. You can pretty much customize the entire league. I think there's a max slot. I think it's 30 max slots. So we'll have to see how that goes, but I'm excited for it. And they have a vault for it. So if somebody has like an epic stadium, we can put it in our series. Who knows? I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm excited just to get into something new here on the channel. So like I said, we will be ending LBSU, sadly, and then continuing Charlotte, and then we'll start our MLB The Show. I want to thank you guys so much for the support. You guys made 2020 awesome. I'm ready for 2021 to be awesome as well. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. It's been great so far, and I'm just so thankful for you guys. I want to thank you guys for all the support, and keep being active in the comment section. I'm very active there as well. I usually respond to as many comments as I can. I'm not that person that just like leaves comments. I pretty much respond to everything, so keep at it there, and I appreciate the support. If you want to sign up for my channel memberships, the join button if you're on desktop is there, and I'll leave a link in this description to allow you guys to join there on mobile if you guys want to, but it's not required, but it does give you a leg up on submitting your recruits and submissions that I occasionally ask for. I guess not occasionally, every single season I ask for them, either in the community tab or in a video. So if you guys want to join, I appreciate it. I thank you guys that are already members on my channel. And tomorrow we will actually have the national championship before the actual national championship. So I'll post the LBSU championship in the morning, and then you'll see the actual national championship in the afternoon at night. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
Just great coverage by the defense, but the quarterback did a nice job to tuck that one and run.
You're right, Kirk. The defense was too worried about his arm. They forgot about his running ability.
I hope the rain don't come in November, 'cause the summer went way too fast. I'm trying real hard to remember all of the good times.